guess what? I'm gonna get mine. Go do the crime. If you can't do the time, don't tell me. You're off and down when you're smiling in my face, but you play me like a clown. It's your fool, bitch. So just step back. I'm mad dad when I come down straight. I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a lean revolution machine. Won't want people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, but you know it's right. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
I will find get something in your rear. 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 I will find get something in your rear.
Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? 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 Who you wanna roll with?
Happy Tuesday. There we go.
Big. I had this stuck in my head since we were like, but when you started, I said Cheerio before, and I just thought immediate failure of the British Empire throughout time, not having their own brand of Cheerios called Chip Cheerios.
Now I'm starving.
But for Cheerios, I've never heard anyone hear Cheerios and go, "Oh, you made me hungry." God, you really got my appetite going when you talked about bland grain.
You
circles.
just add honey to that. It's perfect.
But that's Honey Nut Cheerios, and that's like the Cheerios. It's a mistake that Cheerios by themselves exist. They should never just be like, here's some circles. They're grain, and they taste like nothing. Fuck you. But happy Thursday, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. We're here doing our thing. I have an announcement I'd like to make, actually, before we get too deep into things. I'm going to send this over to you right now.
That's been said here before. Where's my bell? Ding, 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 ding.
You need to chill. I sent that over to you if you want to put that up on the screen real quick.
I can let you. Oh, there we go.
So it has happened. I have been invited to join Castaway Cannabis in Delran, New Jersey for their spring festival. I am going to be with them recording content, hanging out with them, talking to the vendors. We're going to have all sorts of awesome stuff there. Again, I'm going to be there making content. We're going to have dancers. We're going to have DJs. We're going to have a band. There's a couple other things in the works. We're still working on it, but this is my first event that I'm going to be featured at, and I am personally really, really excited. There's been a lot of movement lately on, things like this for me. So I just wanted to share that with you all. This is a big move for me. It'll be 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. on the 19th of April. Come out, say hi, talk to the vendors we got out they're going to have out there, talk to the amazing staff they got over at Castaway Cannabis. I haven't met them in person yet. I've only talked to them, over chat and stuff like that, but they seem like an awesome group of people. I'm very excited. And of course, following that up later, about 3 days later, Lefty, what do you got 3 days later coming up?
Earth Day. Whoop whoop.
And that I will also be hanging with. We'll be doing a live cast there. I've been hearing a lot of cool stuff brewing over at the Mad Hatter. I won't get into too many details, but you guys got. I think I can say this much. You guys are going to have a consistent food truck there.
Yes, a taco truck will be here from the 22nd, from Earth Day on, all year. We'll have a taco truck here. So,
And I like that because I'm not going to use the word straight up loiter, but I do like the concept of a dispensary having an element where people can just hang outside and not literally consume right outside, but you get your stuff, you hang out for a little bit, you chat with people, maybe you're just hanging out. And I like the dispensary having an outside scene to it. That's it definitely fits better.
Well, for Earth Day, they're going to build some flower beds and a bench so that people can come, sit, and use their cannabis. So that's going to be pretty amazing.
I think you guys should put a basketball hoop there too, like one, just one basketball hoop. I think that would be awesome.
A basketball hoop.
Yeah. Or I mean, you guys got plenty of things for jousting.
That's been said here before. Ding, ding, ding. Marina, we need to have courses how to roll a joint. You're absolutely right. And a blunt.
Yes.
You should have Adam show me. He showed me how to roll a cone, and it's pretty amazing. I love it. I recorded it because I can't roll a cone like Adam can roll a cone. So I want to roll a blunt.
I'll tell you one thing. I want to run by Ian and the others there for Earth Day because it's something I've been brewing up recently. Bud tender duels. So what I mean by this is that we get a patient or a customer, and we get two bud tenders, and the patient or customer gives an ailment or a vibe that they're trying to have met, and each bud tender will present their case for a different product, and whoever the patient or customer lands with after those arguments are made wins the bud tender duel.
I like it.
I think it's a cool idea. I think it's definitely something that it's like a little debate of cannabis products.
And then if it's a tie, they get to fight it out.
Why do you gotta bring violence into this?
Okay.
I agree. Yes, absolutely. They should have to. We should have. No, you know what? No violence. They have to take a what's it called? It's a showdown where you have two pistols drawn, stuff like that. So what we do is
dab off.
Yeah, we have two dab rifles, like two dab guns, and they have to have them pointed in their own mouths and then turn to each other, take a hit, and whoever stops taking a hit first loses.
I could do a lot of dabs. I just can't do a lot of dabs one after the other like that.
No, it's not about. It's one consistent. Whoever dabs the longest in that instance.
Oh my!
Or holds it in. That'd be better actually. Yeah. What would be the cannabis equivalent of the 21 gun salute?
Yeah, 21 bong salute.
21 hit salute. That would just take a long time. Or if it's just 21 people, I don't know. Have you ever seen my Amanda has one of these. It's basically beer pong but for weed.
Oh
and
yeah.
You have little teeny tiny little bongs.
That sounds fun.
Yes, it is. I think honestly that's something you guys should put over at the offsite area. A bud pong table.
I'm gonna decorate the space with some of the set that we made for for Bayonne. I have 2 intersections, and I'm going to put them up in the. There's actually shelving up by the ceiling, so I'm going to put them up in the ceiling. It's going to look pretty cool in there. And I'm bringing over a bamboo hut, like a bamboo tiki bar, which is going to be the dab bar, and it's going to be pretty amazing, actually.
I just thought of something. I have from when I used to work at GameStop. I still have intact. I actually want to put it there, and we can just just make this, destroy this, and put it in the offsite area. It's a cutout of Princess Peach. So we hook her up with like a ball gag in her mouth and on the other store and everything, and just put her in the back room as like, don't come back here. You don't want to come back here.
No, never go back there. That would scare me.
Oh God. So who do we have a guest coming on today? I understand.
Our special guest is Linda Casal. She's a nurse, part of the Cannabis Nurses Network, and she's a psychiatric mental health nurse for over 20 years, and she understands the importance of taking care of our body and mental health. Linda works very closely with our military veterans and has so much to share.
If you guys are paying attention,
did I do it wrong again? Wait, so much.
Yeah, let me just touch on this, everyone. Today, something's in the water Lefty's drinking or something, because he's speaking like what's his name?
Linda has so much to share.
Captain Kirk.
Linda has so much to share. Linda has so much to share.
You hear what I'm saying, right? Linda has so much to share. She's quite an amazing woman, amazing nurse, attentive person, and loves to open people's minds about different things in the world of cannabis. I love this woman.
So you did it so much better than me. I love that. That was amazing. You should definitely.
I love the Kirk, the Captain Kirk voice and
that
just
was beautiful.
Tone of
that was beautiful.
Quick speaking.
That was great. Keep going with that. You could do. I could listen to that for like 20 minutes, maybe 21 minutes.
My name is Captain Kirk. I like to have sex with women in space. I often make reckless decisions that other people think are controversial to the codes and ethics of the Starfleet manual. And I say, y'all can eat my ass because I'm a true OG. I'm the realest G there ever was to ever G in space. I, again, have sex with many women and sometimes genderless creatures throughout space and time. I am, in many senses, a god.
That was wonderful. That was great.
How was lime sorbet burst of indica?
I met William Shatner. I stood next to him through plexiglass. Like, remember how him and Spock were separated by plexiglass when Spock died? Well, that's how El Rampador felt. He was on the other side of plexiglass because of COVID.
I never met him, but I met Adam West once.
Oh, that's cool.
It was like 2010. I went to a Comic-Con in New York for a Magic tournament, and I noticed that he had a lineup to do autographs and talk to people. So I paid, got in, and I was really not thinking it through. So I kind of on the spot just asked him to recite one of his Family Guy lines. I forget which one it was, but it was really awesome. I love "No one messes with Adam Wee." Trying to decide what I want to get.
We also have another guest today.
Guess.
Another guest, his name is Ron. He was arrested and raided for using the magical butter machine to make butter and donating it to other
what
sick
state?
people. New Jersey.
When did this happen?
I don't know. Let's find out together. But I'm really upset about this because I love my magical butter machine, and
yeah, there should be that. I would like to. I would wonder though if his, and this is not to fault him by any means, but I wonder if what triggered this was him publicly selling.
I don't think he was selling. I think he was giving it to other people who needed it.
And unfortunately, whether we like it or not, it falls under the same thing our friend from Georgia hit on our legal side, where it's distribution still exists as a charge.
Yeah,
for
distribution.
cannabis.
Even gifting it is distribution. So which is it?
And
What
that's
is
why,
it?
that's why you don't advertise. You keep it to a close net. I won't say exactly where and when, but when we were growing our plant, we would not triple, not quadruple, 5 times plastic wrap any weight we send. We don't want any scent picked up on that. That being said, it was COVID, so there wasn't really that great of oversight on the United States Postal Service as far as packages going through and all that. So, but yeah, you gotta wrap your stuff, and you gotta keep it on the DL for a close crowd. You can't be having a wide audience. That's how you get caught.
Wrap it up. Ding, 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 ding.
There before.
I need the bell, bro. I just bought a bell, so we'll have it soon.
Can you get it written off on your taxes?
I
got a bell. I got a bell. Sometimes I get lost in Walmart. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get a bell for myself and try to write it off on my taxes and say sometimes I get lost places that need to be found. This is for my welfare. This needs to be written off on my taxes. The bell around my neck. Okay, well, how much is the bell worth? $500,000. I made it of only the finest bell items, such as gold and crypto. Crypto bell. Cryptic bell.
Why is there a phone in here?
Why anything? That's the real question. If you don't think about it.
Oh my god, are we hearing echo? Oh great.
I'm not hearing no echo.
Oh my goodness. Is that better?
I didn't hear an echo before, so no, it's not better because it wasn't a problem before.
How about now? Bucketman,
Again, it wasn't an issue for me, so it's not better because it hasn't improved from.
You might not hear it, but the listeners may.
So you were asking the listeners who aren't all going to respond. Do you talk to yourself a lot?
All the time.
Okay.
People catch me doing it too.
Just having whole conversations with yourself.
Trying to do some engineering here and share this to the dispensary. There we go. Okay, our podcast is live in the Mad Hatter dispensary, and it's live in the Mad Hatter dispensary. So it's like redundant. It's live here, and it's live out there. So we're like live everywhere. And we're live in your home now, too. Thank you for welcoming us into your home for a fun-filled evening of you-know-what.
A fun-filled evening of cannabis chat and banter and talks with special guests and controversies discussed on large scales.
Yeah, bro, do that all night.
I would have much rather
I love it.
him being president than Trump. I would have loved to hear my fellow Americans. I'm planning to announce major tariffs on Japan and Canada. I'd also like to announce that my half-assed team had a chat about a imminent deadly strike over Signal. It was very amateur hourish. I don't appreciate the half-assed, slap-assed commitment I am getting to performance.
Oh, President Shatner, we love you.
I would love President Shatner.
President Shatner.
More realistic of a celebrity, and like more realistic in the worlds of like the qualifications. President Schwarzenegger. America, you need to get in the chopper now.
Yeah, we like Arnold. I think, right?
Tariffs.
That would be great. I'd listen to him say tariffs all day. You know, there's a heavy metal band based around the concept of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really? What?
They're called Austrian Death Machine. They like have songs written to like quotes from his movies to like the thing about him banging housekeepers.
What the hell?
Oh, it's really funny. It's really, really funny.
Wait, what?
They have in one album, they have an interlude where they have like supposedly the like portrayed the real Arnold making a voicemail to them, and then their Arnold picks up, and then they just have it like nah. Just hilarious.
Oh, no commercial. No, shut up.
Hundreds of your favorite
Stop.
games from your favorite
No.
casino
Stop.
right at your fingertips.
Stop. It wouldn't stop.
Yeah, because
Skip.
it wants you to gamble.
Skip that.
Now,
Oh yeah,
listen,
here you go.
this next one's called. Yeah. Come on, guys. You're supposed to come in already. Where's the drama? Yeah, it's so embarrassing. 1, 2, 3. Come to the chopper!
Now our escape begins! Get to the chopper! It's the only way out of...
Okay, I get it.
Incredible, right?
I get it. That's insane.
I love
Get
it.
to the
There's-
chopper!
There's a hold on.
What the
There's
hell?
there's an exchange you have to hear.
I
Let me find this real
can't.
Let me find this real quick. I'll send this to you to play.
Come on, man. We're gonna get muted on probably some platforms for this, for playing this, but that's okay. It's worth it.
Wait, for what?
They'll probably mute us for copyright shit.
There's copy. I've learned some lessons about that. Number one, they do have certain automated things about copyright. However, like for example, on YouTube, if I were to upload a video with a whole song that's copyrighted, it would immediately pick that up as a copyright. Maybe it's okay for use on YouTube, maybe it's not. But then if you play like you just did there, the first "What's up, Jason?" the first minute of a song, that's a reference, that's a tribute. That's not, you're not breaking copyright law at that point.
I think you're allowed, what, 7 seconds?
Okay, here we go.
What are you playing?
All right, I'm gonna here, I'm gonna
Is this the
am I sharing my screen? Here, open that up real quick. Yeah, okay.
this here?
On FanDuel Casino, every
No
day
commercials!
and the number one feeling.
We don't support them. How come every song begins with a phone? It's the same song.
Hi, you've reached Ken Lambesis. I'm not here right now, so leave me a message.
Hello there. How are you? I was just thinking about Double Brutal and realized we need to get started writing songs now. Come meet me at the graphic arts classroom so we can practice.
Now!
Wait. Hello? Hello, who is this? You're not the real Arnold. I am the real Arnold.
No, you're not. You're my clone running around trying to be me.
Of course I'm the real Arnold, you idiot. I'm at Tim's house, standing right next to him when he answered the phone. I know you. I heard you being Mr. Funny Guy with your jokes and all that about, the gummy bear candy cornea and working out and your song titles. Well, it's not funny anymore.
That's what any good clone would say. Prove it. You sound like an old man.
Of course I sound older than you, you idiot. I'm 62 years old and totally angry. You sound like me when I was 18. I see Tim standing right
Okay,
over there.
listen.
You know, the girly man with his long hair and his colorful tattoos, right? Exactly.
There's only room for one. Then I'm the real Arnold.
Oh, stop it.
I'm the clown.
No! I will crush you.
You are nothing.
I will burn your eyes out with my stogie, you idiot. Oh,
I'm drinking choir for you.
come, hear me. Hear me now. Ah!
Needs a beat. Gotta put a beat.
It's just yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That would make a good like you could rework that into like a rap standoff against each other where they're just talking shit. What's up, Jim?
Hi, Jim. We have Jim, and Jim, I'm trying to get Ron, our buddy Ron, on.
Ron Johnson.
Ron is going to come on. Talk about how he was rated for using his magical butter machine and donating medicine to other sick vets and other people who need medicine. He's a caregiver. He's a helper, and of course, the helpful people are always first to be punished.
Okay. Sorry for my absence. It could not be helped.
Jim, we got a slightly different angle of you. We got more closet than anything else.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we got beaming bright light.
Beaming bright light is good.
Well,
Make it a halo. Make it.
Well, I've tried that. It doesn't work.
That's good.
No,
Yeah.
it's the heavenly background of Jim. I love it.
Give yourself a halo.
Yeah, you know,
move your chair
over
to the right.
a little bit. So you've
Move
got
your
this,
chair.
this heavenly
I got it.
Hold on.
Move your chair to this. Little more. Right there.
A little more to the side. A little more to the side.
Put your head up. Right.
Yeah.
Hey.
I am Jim Miller.
There you go. Put your arms out now. Put your arms out. Put your arms out. Put your arms out. There it is.
Oh, I just spilled coffee. Shit. All right, I'll be back.
We're trying to be Jesus.
Oh no!
Jesus just got you. He said, no.
He's like, yup, you're trying to, yeah, poser.
You poser, you Jesus poser. How dare you?
Get those nails out of your hand. I did that before. It was cool.
That's the mouse I'm trying to clean up here. I'll see you in a little while.
Oh, shit.
You poser.
That's funny. You
Just
pious poser.
If Catholicism took a completely different like route within civilized society of how it progresses, and people just start like posing on Jesus.
Well, if I don't get my mouse back, this ain't gonna be so funny, then, is it?
Just a bunch of like assholes nailing themselves to wood and just being like, "I am the actual Messiah," and you're just like, "No, you're an asshole. That's what you do. You just nailed yourself to some wood. That's not."
I'm not listening, right?
I'm not talking to. Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
I'm just
We're
rambling.
not talking, so
anything but.
I'm rambling. That's not constituted as talking at all.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I've been Lefty. I'm going to tell you while we're waiting here. I've been trying to articulate because there's so many different routes you could go with this whole signal chat thing. I was the primary concept I've been trying to do for an image is like every person that was involved in the signal chat and like a Brady Bunch kind of like tile surrounding with like Trump in the middle dressed as Alice. Or like just some sort of like Xbox Live, like kind of group chat where they're just like, fuck your mom. Yeah, we're gonna go strike those guys now. Whatever. It's just, shut up. It's not a secure channel. Don't tell your mom. I don't know how to. I don't. It's there's so. That's what that's the one thing I've said I love about this administration is that there's so much fruit to pick from for this stuff.
Yeah, they're downplaying it. The one side's downplaying it, and the other side is like, the guy should be fired. Everyone's fire everybody. Like, oh, okay.
Well, they're not. What they're doing is there's downplaying on their side, but there's also like there's a lot of nonsensical non-seriousness. I think like, oh, Well, you see, they downgraded it now, and they said they're attack plans, not war plans. Oh, because we thought war plans were the size of like a couple of texts. Okay, cool. No, that's fine. The war plans aren't definitely like thousands of pages long with different instances and occurrences. No, it's a couple of texts, and that's it. You would know. Your Secretary of Defense, Jack Daniels, Pete Hegseth. I'm sorry, I'm being disrespectful.
I didn't know we were at war with Yemen.
I didn't know we were at war with Venezuela,
Yeah,
and they don't know either.
When did this all happen? I just didn't know all this.
But you know what? Someone pointed something out to me today on the news today. A very big tell about when Trump is not happy with an action is when he says, "I had nothing to do with it." Like he brushed out, "Yeah, I had nothing to do with it." I also love how he says, signal might be broken. The signal might be broken. Not like a tell that he doesn't know what's going on here exactly.
Well, they could use signal for meetings. We have a meeting this afternoon. You have to get to a vote, something like that. But the stuff about national security, I guess signal is not secure, but it is to me. I've used it, but it's not secure as far as accountability, because that's a small little circle right there. There's another system that they use where it's accountable to Congress, accountable to the Senate, where people are privileged to that information.
Not for national security.
For national security stuff, it's like there's a special way to talk about national security stuff, and that wasn't it.
But the other point is what this unraveled. One of these guys was in Russia having this chat. Like, you want to just go over to the embassy and just give them, you just go tell them everything that we were going to do. You might as well have it by having the conversation in Russia to begin with, without a skiff.
Well, this news reporter was definitely a critic of Trump. So how did this guy get into the chat? Who let him into the chat?
That's and I think he handled this thing brilliantly to be able to hold national security information like that and handle it to the degree he did. Hats off to him. Good for him. He's the true patriot out of this all. I also like that. I also find it disgusting that at any point within our history, a missile strike has been met with flex emojis.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? That's like that's like the douchiest, broest, testosterone fueled thing you could ever put into a graphic sense of like, oh, we're bombing and killing people. Oh yeah, we're big men. No, not about it. I'm not about the bro culture altogether, honestly. It's not I've watched it grow since high school, and it's just gross. And it's just a bunch of inconsistent dudes with competency and confidence issues who take to social media, who use people's fear and anger and anxiety to boost their own sense of worth by having them look at them as a professional reference. Something about the Yemen. Is that what? Wait, what is that? Is that Colombo? What is that?
Who is that? That's not Colombo. Not sure.
I like how she's just smoking a cigarette. It's a Game of Thrones chick just smoking a cigarette. I love it. I love it.
These are pretty good.
Really, just
Dad,
like
yes, son. Where's Yemen? Why? My group chat says we strike at midnight. That's okay, son. Have fun.
That's okay. Just go to bed and don't Yes. Leaking classified info is good now. There's a lot of that. Like I will say the right, like as far as the congressmen and whatnot, they're staying quiet. It's really, 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 really funny. It's really, 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 really funny.
I love it. Yo, that's the best one I've seen. That's the
Incredible.
That's funny.
Yeah, man. I'm not even into dudes.
Yeah, man. Oh
You like?
boy,
Did you like Norm Macdonald?
I like all those guys.
A joke I
Okay.
rediscovered recently, and
Oh yeah,
loving the crap out of telling is Frog walks into a bank and he goes up to the woman at the teller desk and says, "Hello, ma'am, I'd like a loan." And she looks down. She's like, I don't know. You're a frog. I don't know if I could give you a loan. And he says, "Well, I'm a frog and I'd like a loan." She says, "Well, you're a talking frog? That's awfully strange." He goes, "Yes, my father was Mick Jagger and my mother was a frog. Mick Jagger fucked a frog." She says, "Oh, all right. It's interesting." And you look on the name tag there. Her name's Miss Whack. Miss Whack says, "Do you have any collateral?" And he says, "Yeah." He pulls out a shiny little pink elephant. This teeny, little, tiny, shiny pink elephant. Gives it to the teller. Miss Whack looks at this elephant. She's like, never seen anything like this before. This is very strange. I'm going to go check with my supervisor. I'll be right back. So goes back to the supervisor, knocks on the door, says, "Yeah, Patty, you can come in." Name's Patty Whack. Patty walks in and says, "Yeah, there's a frog out front looking to get a loan. Has a bit of collateral here." He says, "All right, let me take a look at this here." Hands of the supervisor the pink elephant. And he's like, "Oh. This is a knick-knack, Patty Whack. Give that frog a loan. His father's a Rolling Stone." It's a good one.
good one.
Lots of moving parts. Coffee crisis averted, Jim?
No, rectified more than averted.
Real quick, I was just reminded, Lefty, I'm gonna try for this coming Tuesday. I have two former patients of mine from when I was when I worked on the med counter over at Air that want to come on the show and talk about how they feel as patients within this current, because I could talk about that every day and I still do, but they have their perspective on how they've been feeling about, the recent, cuts to med hours and how they are feeling patients have been treated. And I thought it would be interesting to not only get, another patient literally saying this, but also someone that I used to work with. Hi, Sue. So yeah, I'm gonna try to sort that out.
You all froze up. Lefty's
Hi, everybody.
How are you, Sue?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
I just had a coffee spill.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Took a bit. It's all on me,
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of a good.
I just listened to this really, really fascinating scientist about the link between the gut and health, and he's also he's You may know who he is. You Blushing.
That last
He
name
did
sounds
that-
familiar. Where does he
He did
practice?
this big book. Wait. I'm going to show you the book. It's the Cannabis Bible.
Okay. Mike's here. Bongholio.
Bongholio.
What's up, y'all?
Bongholio. I didn't get the chance to reach. I didn't have a way to reach out to you. I recently posted a video today that I used footage of you and me at the Cannabis Expo. It's on my Instagram.
Cool.
Can you see that? Can you see it?
Let me see.
No, it's blurred.
It's a little blur. Up there it is. I see it.
Wait.
Okay, yeah, that's better.
Here, let me take
Yeah, you can
blur it out.
You can see what it is. Okay. Yeah, it's a big book, a lot of small print. It's the Bible.
Yeah,
love it.
And he's
when
just so good.
When did that come out? I mean, give it to for reference. Is it like a 2-year-old
I've had this
Bible, a 5-year-old?
No, I've had this for a while.
Early 2000s.
I don't know why. It gives me relativity knowing when, because there's so much going on with
You know what they
cannabis.
say about relativity,
I mean,
right? Okay,
Well,
2015.
I mean, the newer it is, it seems like the more complete it would be, because by the time you write a cannabis Bible, a lot of other shit comes the next year. Like, wow, I didn't know this. And, there's just so much discoveries. It'd be like having an endocannabinoid system Bible. It'd be updated regularly. So
I love.
Yeah, but you know what? It's good to have this because.
Oh yeah,
it's
is
science.
Is it online where it's
you can order it
or something?
You can order it. No, this book is too big.
Yeah, it's big.
But you can order it.
I love the text.
What was the crux of what you were talking about with whoever this is? I didn't hear the name exactly.
Just the gut connection. With our health, and he was talking a lot about how they're finding how much CBD works with the gut.
Like a gastro sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that CBD, what they found is that CBD almost works like, and I'm not going to say it works as an antibiotic, but it almost works like an antibiotic would, where, of course it supports your immune system, but it also supports all of those, all those microbes we have in the gut.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes you less apt to pick up infections. And I've always had friends that have said to me, "You never get sick," and I don't. I know. I pick up allergies and things like that. That's just environmental, but I really don't. And I've been using CBD for a long time, and I use it. I use it daily. It's just part of my whole, health regime. And then he was talking also about the CB1 receptors, which was interesting. I'd like to know more about CB2 receptors than I already know. So I don't know. I'm going to look for somebody.
Here's what stirs up for me from hearing what you're saying right now. And this is a thought a concept I've been trying to, mull over in my head a lot and sharing with people recently. I want to hear what you have to say as a nurse. I wonder if this actually relates to what you're talking about here. I'm sure you hear a lot from people like myself that smoking versus using concentrate or a vape cartridge has a heavier sedative effect in one way or another. My theory to that is that, say you have a sealed room and you take up like a pound of weed and you're in that room, you light that pound of weed on fire, you're going to get high and then you're going to pass out from oxygen deprivation.
Yeah, I almost did that one time. Well, not in that scenario. No, I did at a cannabis cup thing in is a big room, but it had no windows. So I was too far away from the door in a too crowded room of too much cannabis being smoked, and I seriously I gotta go. I gotta get to the. I'm like, I gotta get to the door. Imagine being at the cannabis cup going, I gotta get to the. And I got outside and it's like, oh. So I didn't mean to interrupt, but
no, you're good.
I could relate.
So,
yeah.
The only benefit that I see with smoking, you know, because of course I've done both, but I don't smoke anymore, is that, you know, if you're, because we don't have anything to really follow, you know, they say start slow and then grow, is that when you, of course, when you smoke, you're gonna feel something immediately. Okay. So it's a lot, you know, it's quicker than doing, you know, taking oil sublingually like I do.
Well, what I meant by that
but
is
it's not that much of a tiny difference.
Well, what I mean by that is more the physical effect of smoke on the body versus, say, if you were to do the same thing with like a giant Zenko or some vapor device. Fill the room up with the concentrate vapor, you would get high, and then that next step would be sweating and not complete oxygen deprivation, but you'd feel a much lighter but more like, you know, you're sweating and you feel like you need to get air. So there's a much heavier effect, in my opinion, of smoke on the body, which is why regardless, a lot of times you'll see people much more sunk in and sedated with smoking rather than taking a lot of hits of the cart. Now, yes, it does still depend on what strain you smoke. Personally, for me, though, and I think it also, to a degree, has a lot to do with the intake to my liver because of my bariatric surgery. When I smoke weed, I am not the same operational and aware that I am when I take hits of carts. That's just what I've noticed with myself. And
yeah, and you're gonna end up with popcorn lung. Keep hitting those carts. It's a fact.
I from what I've seen, the popcorn lung I've seen has been more of an issue, from what I've seen at least, is the disposable vapes, the salt nicotine. That is when
inhaling anything is going to affect our lungs, period.
Yeah.
Amen to that. I absolutely am in agreement with that.
But you're talking like either or. There's the in between. I had some food grade bomb, which instead of making cookies out of it, I just kind of spooned some of it in. And then I have a couple of tokes. In other words, to me, what I do is wait till I start to, I think I'm feeling the edible. Then I have like a couple of tokes.
But Jim, you're kind of like a connoisseur, you know, because
Yeah.
we're a little bit older, so we've been playing around like this, you know.
Well, no, you're not older. Nobody's older than me here.
But that was.
But we've been playing around really for years, you know, figuring out how, why, when, and then when everything became, you know, really truly scientific, we really got into that.
Yeah.
So you missed earlier. We had Jim set up in the holy setting. We had the sunlight that was behind him set behind him. We were just like the holy Jim. Like, here's Jim and all his holy. Yeah, there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It enlightened. Yeah, that's a beautiful picture right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Light behind you, just going. Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. But
now you got me started. Now that's your fault. You know, I'll ride this way. You know that.
But dialing back, do you think that on a very basic level, on what you were talking about there, that there's a thicker effect of smoke on our body as far as, you know, that high versus, like, is there a strong differential difference between a smoke high and a vapor high?
No.
You don't think so?
No. No, it's going into your lungs.
No, not in that. No, okay. Not in that regard.
All right. Tell me what you're.
What I was talking about earlier about
the head, you know,
how quickly you can be in one way or another. I don't want to use the word debilitated, but debilitated. Like I was talking about the room full of technology. How it's like if you're in a burning room filled with any smoke, you're gonna. Whereas,
you know what? You go closer to your microphone because you're breaking up.
Whereas I've had a couple instances in life where a friend has had like some crazy like non-smoke vapor device where like they're filling the whole room, and that was definitely more of not like the same sensation of being in a room full of smoke. If you're I maybe there's a better way of articulating this, but I definitely, in my experience at least, feel a lot more of a timer with vapor versus smoke. And I'm not making an argument for health or anything like that, other than just the strong impact of one versus the other in the immediate.
You know what? It depends on the person. It really does. You know, we all react differently to probably everything without realizing it. But we do know that we all react differently to cannabis, you know, in one way, shape, or form. Okay. I had to learn to love oils, but I do. I love them now. But you know, at first it was a little testy.
You brought up, you reminded me of something interesting. I had this thought yesterday, and we've all said before, cannabis affects everyone differently. We've all also gotten to the point where we realize, where I'll say to an extent, a definition of what terpenes are going to definitively do to a person. Where's the line drawn? Maybe this is my autism, but where's the line drawn? Like how, if limonene is your uplifter for your mood, linalool can help you focus. Are we saying at that point that it has, like, it does something different for some people, that terpenes are not 100% consistent on their effect? I know, like, I will say that I know what the terpenes do. I know what they are. And I also understand what we're saying about it affects cannabis differently. What I'm having trouble with in my head is drawing that line of it affects everyone differently versus we have these things down to a definitive definition.
Nothing is definitive. Nothing is a definitive definition in this world. Okay. So you can't even do that with the terps. You know, don't forget what terpenes are. They're in everything. Okay. Every plant out there has terpenes. So you don't need cannabis for terpenes. You know, you can go pick something else, you know, and get the same terpenes out. We make essential oils with terpenes, right? And when we do that, what are you doing with essential oils? Well, you're not smoking them, you're not swallowing them, you're not doing any of that. You're probably putting them in an area of discomfort or of pleasure, like when you use, you know, the other oils like lavender oil, you know, the happy oils,
right?
You know, but what are you doing? You know, you could inhale them, you rub them on your hands, and you just, you know, suck it in that way, you know. So, but it affects everybody different. You know, you hear some people that say, no, I can't do that. You know, I don't like that. You know, it's your preference. You know, what is your preference? What works and what works for you?
And when I hear that as a bud tender, I definitely, you know, that's definitely a flag where I have to say, okay, maybe I have to pivot a little bit. And then I also balance that with like, I try to ask questions without doubting the person, obviously, but also playing at the fact that we're not born with a manual on how to be human beings. We're not aware of the things that we're not aware of. And we're also not aware of the things that we're viewing in proper light. So what I try to do is when I hear that, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that. Like, I was just talking earlier about two former medical patients I worked with at AIR who I was hanging out with recently. And one of them said to me, you know, I just can't do, you know, sativas. And I said, but you said earlier you do pineapple strains. And she said, yes, I love Pineapple Express. I was like, well, that's sativa dominant. It's again, that thing people aren't thinking about, obviously thinking about the things that they either aren't aware of or for some reason just didn't put together in their head. And I definitely try to tackle each of those possibilities because at the end of the day, you could stand in your own way of something that could work the best for you.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean, like, you know what, just because that one sativa happens to work for that individual doesn't mean that they all do.
No. That if anything means that you're looking at a sativa that's more lemony, not very much of anything with like high
You're,
focus.
you're getting too technical. You're running away with yourself.
I overthink.
Too
Yeah,
much
I tend to
knowledge.
overthink
You know what they say about too much knowledge is never a good thing, right? Because we want to apply it to everything. What we have to we have to remain open to what we're learning, what we continue to learn. I mean, all the stuff we know now about cannabis, we didn't know, years back. We didn't know a year ago, even.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful thing that other things keep, evolving, and then when you flip the script and you see that there are research studies right now that are going on. Well, right now everybody's funding is chopped.
Yeah.
But anyway, but regardless, cannabis use disorder is being looked at big time, and we're going to see a lot of negative cannabis things coming out, articles and what have you, because of the present political climate. And if nobody likes that here, too bad. You know what? This administration sucks, but that's beside the point. The point is that everything continues to change. And to hear, even to hear before, CBD is can be equivalent to, has some kind of equivalency with an antibiotic. That's pretty cool. We didn't know that, did we? I didn't know that, and it made perfect sense when he was explaining it to me and to others. I was like, damn, I love this. I love it. I love hearing this,
yeah, it is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It is, but I would also add to that that I'm glad that you have an understanding of it, that you can, I don't want to say dumb it down for me, but that's the best way to get me to understand it, because you have a background and a more of an understanding in that area as it is compared to me. So when I hear this, I understand the ramifications of what you're saying, and I understand how new it is, and it just makes me glad that, I don't have to be an auto mechanic if I know one, and I don't have to know exactly what to do about this if I know you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it excites me on one hand, because of what I'm hearing, but on the other hand, because who's telling me, and that I have access to if I have a question.
Yeah.
You're like my auto mechanic, except for not for cars.
What I love about talking to Sue personally for me is that, amongst many things, is that when I first started getting into cannabis, I had, if any feelings of offness or things I didn't understand. I knew I had a father who was a physician and a mother who was a nurse. I also knew that their medical education was coming out of an area that was very stigmatized against cannabis. So questions to them related to that were always skewed a certain way of with always a worried tone of that's bad or something like that. With Sue, I can get objective, relevant, and true information, balancing health practices and cannabis practices. And that's what I really like. For me personally, just having that kind of a relationship with my parents, but it's refreshing to me to be able to talk to Sue about cannabis and stuff like that, and learn, and not, in the process of learning these things, not have, like my mother would do, just push guilt on you for using cannabis.
But that's the stigma part, because who knows? Your mother may be the same age as me. I don't know how old your mother is, and she's a nurse
or younger.
Yeah. So it's all about perception. My perception is not your reality. Your perception is not my reality. Flip that.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it's a very interesting thing that I always, when people meet my mom, and they say oh, she's not into cannabis. No, but she's into magic crystals and jars full of mostly green grain and stuff like that. But no cannabis, absolutely not. That's crazy.
Okay, and I'm into crystals too.
And but I'm just saying, if we're just to play it fair, it's just looking at that, not even to make fun of it, but to look at that, you think that that's usually an earthy, down to earth cannabis user, someone who's all natural, but just said that one little piece missing there.
I'm in this network that has, I don't know, about 4,500 nurses. Okay. So there's a big, long gap between me and some of them, and sometimes I say nothing. A lot of times I say nothing when I listen to somebody that's only been, introduced to cannabis like 2 years ago. I can't relate. That's difficult for me to relate. So in that aspect, I can't help them, because I don't know where their prejudice is. I don't know where their thoughts are, and I don't understand why it took them so long either. But that's me,
Yeah. I will, to that point though, when I do hear that people have recently come to accepting cannabis, the one thing that immediately I'm able to understand at least is why they didn't at first, and not because of the product itself, but because of where we've been through history. I can see just simply being pulled over by police. I've heard that being enough of an issue for people to say, no, I don't want to use cannabis because it's too much of a risk. Reasons like that. So I that personally, I've always been at least understanding, not to say you're not, of, why people have never used cannabis before or have stayed away from it in the past. But
no, I get it. I get it.
It's the same thing I say, kind of the same thing I say with when I started in the cannabis industry. I noticed that, like, unlike when I worked at GameStop or we did data entry for a clinic or something like that, I can't fault the customer, the patient, to the same degree I would in other regards. Like at GameStop, the calls I'd get, hey, what time are you guys open to? You mean the times that are listed on Google, that if you just took like less time to type it? Yeah, that I can absolutely blame for. Absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
If a cannabis user comes in and even no matter how many times I hear it, give me the highest THC you got, I'll try to push education their way. Most likely they're going to be stuck in their ways. Just give them what they want, but I can't in my heart blame them.
In good faith, you can't.
That is just something that's ingrained with years of not being able to properly educate. And let's be frank, there was no education back then, but there was the degree where you had to have a friend or someone to really parse through the knowledge with you, because we hadn't broken it down as much as we have to this point today.
Well, they're probably trying to find a strain that works for them, because we all have to do R&D on ourselves to find our own terp profile. So I guess one way to do it is to, just get the highest THC, see if that works for you. If you like it, stick with it. But because eventually they'll find out, they'll be like, yeah, I want orange crush, or I want green crack. They'll know what they want. But until they know what they want, maybe they just want the highest THC, or the tastiest terps. I go for the tastiest terps. I don't know my profile, but I go for the tastiest terps right now.
Yeah, but Lefty, you're pretty well versed in using cannabis. I mean, as far as you have to take into account also the generational differences.
Yes.
And there are some of you, like our friend here, who you love what you do. Not you, Jim.
Well,
Jim still loves what he does. Absolutely, without a doubt.
I was making fun of your emotion as if he was there. Like, I thought all three of us would have gone, no, I didn't get any support. That was on purpose.
But the generational differences are there, and there's no getting away from that.
We're gonna get too far away from when Lefty said something about, and I heard it. Well, that was because of the DNRFL. Did you say a word that sounded like that, or an acronym?
Who, Lefty?
I missed that one.
No, okay. Well, this is all being recorded. I'll.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look through
I'll
that.
hear it later. But yeah, it was like, that's why I wear it, so I can hear clearly, and you fucked that up.
I go for the cheesy and garlic strains. Cheesy, garlic strains, and I like sour tangy a lot.
Yeah. What does that do?
Tried the Mad Hatter's,
why in
cheddar
particular,
cheese?
though? You like
pain relief.
Why?
Pain relief.
Pain relief, right? Yeah, okay. I want to make sure. Well, I mean, I know Lefty would be for pain relief on that. I wonder if Mikey, what do you like about it? I mean, because
it usually I think a lot of pain relief as well, but usually the cheesy strains and the garlic strains, they always seem to work well. And not that I'm even able to articulate why, but they always seem to. I gravitate
That's
toward
what
them.
works for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If you, I
Yeah.
mean,
And it's good when you can find something that works for you because you
Yeah.
can
It's
stick
good when
with
you.
that. And then if you
Yeah.
want to try something else, you will, but you have something to go back to.
It's good if you have a regular supply of it. You know, the problem
Yes.
is sometimes with the dispensary system is you
Yeah.
know what works, but it's not there. You know?
and I'm glad Lefty said find a strain that works for you because I wanted to bring this up. So we're all familiar. I'll use this as an example. We're all familiar with Granddaddy Perp. If we think off the top of our head,
No, we're not. No.
We're down-
Generational differences.
Yeah, we're down to 60% sure now. You know, because we got two no's.
I'll take this strain for. I'll rephrase
Wait,
this. I'll take this strain for
I
example.
want to hear Lefty or Mikey tell me what you're talking about because we might be at 60%. And they're not just saying we don't know either.
Lefty, you're muted.
Lefty, you're muted.
I don't like Granddaddy Perp. I don't know why.
He knows who it is, though.
Okay.
So
What about
you'd
you,
be
Mike?
interested in
Mike,
hearing
you
this
know,
then,
you know
Lefty.
Granddaddy
So,
Perp?
You know what I'm talking
It's hard for me to say.
Oh, Mikey's got away.
Hard for me to say I dislike any strains really.
Yeah, but do you know Granddaddy Perp?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. 60%.
Okay. So
I
they
like
would know
numbers.
Granddaddy Perps usually, you know.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm very guilty of not sometimes paying attention to the effects that it has on me because it offers some sort of relief. And then if I'm in some sort of relief, I don't have to think as much. So a lot of times I'm not really even articulating to myself and taking the proper tally that maybe I could if I was looking to really narrow down strains, you know. Being that the options are limited with dispensaries and stuff, and even if you're getting something from someone, they wind up being out of the Cindy 99 that maybe you're getting for the last 3 months or what have it be. So the problem is consistency anyway. So I only paid so much mine because when are you going to be able to get it even, you know?
Thank you for saying the word consistency. So like I was saying, Granddaddy Perp, if Lefty and I or Mike can think it's more of a couch locky kind of indica. So I got the I believe, what is it? Is it just a woman who does dank Lefty, or do they partner with dank? I forget.
I don't
Unmute
know.
yourself.
Yeah, I don't know.
Regardless, I just wanted to credit them if I could. So this one was a lot more. I noticed with this particular Granddaddy Perp, and you were referenced, you know, consistency earlier. Very sharp focus, not a high level of like, you know, crazy energy. Sharp level of focus and awareness with this one, and that makes me wonder. I mean, at the end of the day, how consistent do strains stay brand to brand?
You don't know. Unless you're growing your own, you don't know.
I feel like for myself personally, with cannabis use, it seems like a lot weighs so much more heavily on like circumstances, surroundings, what's going on in the week, headspace. That stuff has such a more of a contributing factor than the strain itself. That also is what gives me difficulty trying to narrow down, you know, what maybe are, you know, certain strains that work best for me. Too much outside stuff influences it.
And that you just like literally blew a hole through my mind, because I've been talking about, full disclosure, I've been talking about this a lot with my therapist recently, over the past couple of years, over the concept of not being able to medicate situational issues, being that if you have an issue with your apartment, no medication is going to fix that. You just have to, like, honestly, the best you could do is just, you know, smoke a little bit, relax, and ignore the issues. And like you just said, it's hard to pick out what strain you want, because you don't know what's going to happen in the week or what's going to go on and all these changing factors. And I've often wondered how much, like, yes, it definitely has an impact, but I'm now realizing how much more of an impact it does have, just what's going on in your life and making weed purchases based on not only analyzing yourself, but analyzing your current environment.
I know one thing I have to constantly do is always switch it up. Not be smoking one strain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like that.
I can never buy the same strain twice.
Yeah, I got a favorite or two, but I just can't get them all the time.
Yeah.
I gotta switch it up time to time.
Yeah.
I gotta. I was able to do one strain consistently before, and that was when I was buying off the street. Now, I feel I am liberated.
The idea of having at least a plant that you grew yourself, that's exactly what you want. I mean, if you can achieve that, you have it. I don't know. Then we get into what's the best way to keep it, from degrading or whatever. It's half like, freezing or drying or, freeze drying or whatever. But then the idea that I can picture having at least one plant and finding, oh, it's exactly what I want. I live for that. It's on my bucket list. I want to know what that's like. It's a freaking weed. And, to actually achieve that, man, that's going to be sweet, isn't it? I mean, I may never be able to grow because I'm not really the grower type. But again, like I was saying before, I know some grower types, so I expect I'll have help.
What are some of your favorite strains, Jim?
Weirdly enough, the one seemed to disappear that I originally liked, and I don't know why, was Gorilla Glue. That just for some reason, it wasn't the most potent. It wasn't, it didn't have, it might have not statistically looked the best, but it hit my sweet spot, and I found myself in my, what I call my zone. Like when I'm talking, I see more of the train coming, the train with all the possible words and shit. And I'm batting that stuff out of the way long before it gets there. And I'm hearing what I say going, damn, fluidity. I like that, So Gorilla Glue did that to me. And
I like how you just broke that down.
Yeah.
Mike,
what I'm saying? Then you understand that whole sometimes when you can see that coming, it's almost like it's coming and you understand it faster than you need. Like playing something on a keyboard is difficult, but it's at a way slower speed, but not so slow you lose the rhythm, and it hits that. You're not losing the rhythm. You're getting it in time, but it cuts out that. So it cuts out you don't do that. It's like no ums, no elongating a thing or all the things that happen, I watch my replays. I'm not proud of myself sometimes.
Mikey, I'd be interested to hear your favorite strains because I'm sure you can admit or agree with me that your preference for weed is more narrow on the menu. Like I don't see as many garlic strains as I do fruit strains in that regard. Like I'd like to hear some of your favorite strains.
Well, I like for like activity purposes like AK-47, sour, sour tangy, stuff like that. Like Jim was saying or whatever. Sometimes when you're overstimulated and you feel like that train is coming and you're batting things out of the way and you're in the zone, even just in a general sense, sometimes you need the strain that's going to let that train hit you and just run you right over. So that's why circumstances always play such a big role. And then anything like a heavy indica at nighttime, help me stay asleep, not just fall asleep, but stay asleep.
Well, that would,
which is it's an oldie but goodie. But I like Purple Haze. You know what? And I think it's because of the terps that Purple Haze has,
Would that be like more indica or sativa leaning?
It's more of a sativa. However, the terps in Purple Haze are myrcene and BCP, beta carotene.
I got to know more about terps.
Okay.
Really
So anyway,
I mean, not this exact moment, but I will. I'm just saying that was my inside voice. I got to learn more about terps.
Okay. So anyway, so myrcene is it's a heavy terp, and it kills pain and it does all the right things that you're looking for,
That 9 o'clock Netflix, ready to go to bed and want to watch something. What do you got? I want that,
Yeah.
I go to sleep, I win. I enjoy the show, I win.
Sue, I think you just broke through a shell in my mind of what you were talking about before, and I'm now seeing this. Myrcene is an anti-anxiety terpene.
Right.
Now, based on your personal preference, when you feel less anxious, you could feel more energized or you could feel more relaxed.
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
simply right there is a great example of how terpenes affect people differently. It's how your body reacts to different sensations.
Yeah. And the myrcene, myrcene has more of a relaxing effect, but when you get into the limonene and the pinene, those are strong terps, and they're good, and they're really good, for uplifting you. And, it's like a anandamide, that bliss molecule. It triggers that, it turns it on.
Is there
Really cool.
Is there something that terpenes you can mostly besides feeling them, it's what is education for me.
Yeah.
It's what gives it the bubblegum flavor or feel something. Where does that come
from? The effect and the taste.
Yes. Back in the day, haven't had that in a long time. That was a bad example. A lot of people are, what do you mean bubblegum? Yeah, juicy fruit. There's no more juicy fruit.
Yeah.
Now, is there a blending?
Yeah, you can blend.
No, but don't want the blend. It seems like everything's towards the middle. Everything's a hybrid of some sort, leaning this way or that, and it's like 60-40, 30. Where
I wouldn't say that. Like you have plenty of variations, for example, of green crack with blue dream, and that's like a sativa dominant with a sativa.
Okay, sativa dominant 60-40, 80-20. That's what I'm saying. Now, how dominant? The dominant means it's that side. That's anywhere from 52% on up to it's flat out not a hybrid. But back in the day when there wasn't so many hybrids, you had some actually really different shit going around that was like totally different. And now it's kind of hard to identify compared to that, And plus, when I say a juicy fruit, it's like you take a puff of that and it would be like like juicy fruit gum, you could almost taste it.
Yeah.
And so but I guess the reason I was saying that is there some way that somebody would take advantage of that and be able to fake a terpene by way of the flavor or smell or taste or something? You know what I'm saying?
Anything is possible.
I mean, I'm not looking for trouble. I'm saying,
possible.
You know what I mean? I'm not looking under rocks here for things that might bite me. It's just, it occurs to me because when something's good, people try to fake it,
Right.
Yeah. And I'm hearing this is kind of new good to me, but right after that, there's a bandwagon that's trying to make something off it, and they'd be, we could flavor that. I mean, it does have the terpene, so we're only alerting them to it in a way where,
Well, that's why so many people got fucked up, buying synthetic.
That's my question. Are you talking about with the
synthetics were a nightmare?
No.
That because of the world we live in, that's the way it goes. It's even when you talk about the opioid epidemic, and you talk about right now, for the past couple of years, it's been all about fentanyl.
Well, my question was more.
These kids are getting pills that they think they're taking Percocet.
Yeah.
And you know what? I questioned my grandkids about this. I said,
how do you know?
Why did you think that? Why would somebody think that was not what it was? Because they call everything a Percocet. So apply that, move that over right into cannabis. Right?
Well, when you get a lesson like I had early on in college, when it was like, listen, I've got some psilocybin. Okay, now this is called psilocybin, a pill. Is this 1970? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So okay. It was wild. It took several hours and it wasn't psilocybin. Let me tell you that. It was like, holy crap, ruined me for anything like that for a while till I thought maybe a lesser dose, but obviously it was LSD. You know, it wasn't psilocybin. So it's like somebody just saying that, and now that's why I guess
LSD is cheap, right? And it's
yeah.
still cheap.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that's why I kind of wonder, because I love the idea of terpenes as I'm learning about them. But
yeah, terpenes are really cool. I like studying them.
I want to be able to think I got at least a 50-50 of it being the real deal. When it's like somebody says this is the terpene, I go, yes, it is a little lemon-like or something, you know?
Yeah.
Or is that what the limo?
You know what? You just have to, you know, you have to find a place that you trust, you know, and it's all about like that's why home grow is such a good thing, because at least you know what you're doing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You know,
that's where it's coming from for me. Yeah.
That is the safe way to go. You know, and if you want to use it as oil, you can throw it in your slow cooker with some coconut oil and let it simmer, and maybe your house will stink up, but that's okay. You know,
yeah, it is.
It's like that. It's that saying we used to have: know your dealer, right?
Yeah. Which is harder to do nowadays. I've discussed this before. That was something that we at least were forced to do with a degree of ignorance back then. Nowadays, you can. I tell you right now, you can depend that either the person you're buying from or the person they're buying their weight from is at the very least spraying it. And I'll tell you why. Because people are creatures of convenience. And if you pull your usual dealer bullshit and say you're going to be there in 20 minutes, you're not there for an hour, they're going to go to the dispo. So what do? You don't improve your product. You don't offer something else. You get people addicted to this stuff one way or another. So they have to keep coming back to you. That's just what happens. And it's like you said, that's the world we live in now.
I got to learn shorthand, because sometimes it takes me so long to write down what I don't want to forget. And this conversation, it's somewhere else, and it's like, you know,
you need to develop your own. South Jersey News, how we doing?
Let me see if it worked though. Yeah, okay. I remember. You go into a dispensary and you find a strain you like. How do you know it's really that strain?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you know there's no mold in it? Well, you know that's probably not going to be the case, maybe. So we were going with that, but then even finding 1 M of the 1 O of an MSO, you know, one kind of MSO, and you know, I guess it's going to be the same state to state, but if it wasn't, like, is a brand by one company actually the same as that alleged brand from another company if you buy it at a different dispensary that has a different distributor? You follow? Am I making sense?
You're making perfect sense.
Yeah, because that would be also a concern for me. And all of these concerns, the reason why I'm so concerned about the concerns is because they are all good reasons to have home grow. They're all legitimate reasons, and it's not like I'm trying to think of reasons to back up home grow. It just seems like everything we're talking about goes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's giving me that reaction.
Like, where would you rather, you know, if you grew Jersey tomatoes, right?
Yeah.
Well, would you go to the store and buy a tomato if you can grow one that's beautiful yourself? No. I mean, if you're into gardening, anyway.
Yeah.
But you know, it's that kind of comparison. You know what you have when you do it yourself.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, and even if it's not the Jersey tomato you thought it was, even if the tomato you really like,
it's still yours.
You got more of them out in the backyard. You know, whatever you call it, it is, and that I like. That's that's the fun of this time of year, is getting. Let's see, what do I want to get? Well, I liked the cucumbers last year. Can't have too many tomatoes, but you want to add something, a different kind of pepper. Every spring is full of that. I love that.
I'm like, cool. What? Yeah.
Lefty, can you put up that graphic I sent you so I can post this for South Jersey News?
Yeah, when I go inside, I will. Oh, can I do it here?
Right.
I don't see a way to do it here.
Yeah. Oh, right.
You're on your phone.
What's up, Vinny?
South Jersey, I got something I want to show
Yeah.
you. But we're gonna once Lefty gets inside, we'll put up the graphic.
And yeah, Vinny, I am feeling a little bit better. My ribs are still in a lot of pain, but I am better. Thank you for asking.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, I had an anxiety attack. Brought me to the ground. Smashed my rib cage into the toilet. Put my head kind of half through the wall. Knocked the paper towel thing off. Toilet paper roll off. Yeah.
Do you have anxiety attacks often?
I had 2 in like the past 2 years. I actually thought it was like a drop seizure when it happened because it was so intense and that made me think that the other 2 times were like small seizures or something. So
it's possible.
Yeah, it was pretty nutty.
Go see a neurologist. They'll do an EEG on you, and they can see, if there's seizure
I
activity
did go to
going
the
on.
ER. They did a brain scan, CAT scan on my head or whatever.
That doesn't show it. Seizures.
Well, I'm just telling you what they did. They did did a rib like X-ray on my chest or whatever, you know.
They treated you like an ER patient, yeah.
Yeah, and then they did like blood work and shit like that or whatever. But obviously it was a very, 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 very traumatic thing. Everything for me is before and after that day, Tuesday, which was just 2 days ago. So there's a lot of things that I need to do. Now I am forced to, because there was a moment where I don't know if it was like I was almost in sleep paralysis after it happened, but I went to bed. Like I tried to go to bed, but I couldn't. I had no energy. It just depleted me. Like I had never been so exhausted in my life. I couldn't have the volume on the TV, number one, but I was trying to get to bed. And then I fell asleep for about an hour. My friend Lauren came over just literally so somebody could lay with me, just for, so I could try to get to bed.
What you are describing, because you said it, you almost felt like it was a seizure, and it could have been, but you would have to see a neurologist.
Well, I was like,
let me finish. What you just described.
But I know I need to see it.
That's the post-ictal phase after seizure activity, and that's why a lot of people don't remember they have seizures, because you can't, because the brain, is doing something else.
I know, and I don't mean to be so snappy. It's just that it's very overwhelming, the whole thing.
Sure.
And I know what I need to do, and I'm going to do those things. And yeah, I had thought for a minute when I had fallen asleep for about an hour, and then she got here, and I felt like I was in like some sort of sleep paralysis. My whole body was numb. I felt like I was getting paralyzed. And I started feeling like I was falling into like a vegetative state, because my brain was there. I could think about all the things I wanted to say, but I couldn't even say the word fall or seizure or anxiety.
It sounds to me like you're describing a post-ictal phase, and that would be post-seizure. And if you go to a neurologist, make sure you tell whoever you go to everything that you just said now.
And in the interim, because like you said, you know what you have to do, you're going to do it. Even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever during the day, to just sit like you're like in your bed and just close your eyes, either in silence or with some light sound, and just deep, mindful in and out breathing will do a lot for just calming your psyche to a degree, especially if you can catch yourself in the moment.
And try to stay out of bright lights too, because that, for people that get seizures, that could bring on a seizure. So, any kind of bright lights, do things like that for yourself. Just like
I could have sworn it was, I don't go to the doctors and stuff. So, that's the process. I went to the emergency room, and this is what my experience was.
Okay.
Everybody told me.
The department deals with emergencies. You were not an emergency. Okay. So all they did was they made sure that like all your bones were where they were supposed to be. And if they weren't, I did that for 40 years. Okay. So really,
the severity of what Sue's trying to translate to you is roughly like when you hear people have like gotten a head injury and they say, I'm not going to go to the doctor, I'm going to wait. That time immediately after when that happened, and I'm not trying to make you more anxious. I care, I care about everyone in this chat. I don't want anyone to get any hurt.
The whole thing is very, very difficult right now.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
sure.
I trust you're going to
I'm
tackle
sure.
it how you need to, and I just hope you get better.
And my ribs, oh my God, I'm in so much pain right now.
Yeah, ribs
And
hurt.
when I fell, it's not like I fell like almost forward. I think what happened was I fell straight down because when I hit the toilet, it was like I hit it from the front, like like where it couldn't have even given. It's not like I hit it from the side where I could have like busted it loose from like the whatever, the way it's mounted. It was like I hit it from the front going on, like I collapsed into it and hit my head on the toilet paper roll. And I just gotten out of the shower.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's scary. That's so scary. Lefty, our guest can't get on again. Okay, this is 2 weeks in a row that she can't get on. And she said, do I have to make an account? I told her to go through Chrome. I mean,
if she's going through the app, does she have an iPhone? If she has an iPhone, don't use the app. Just put that address into StreamYard and into Safari or Chrome, whatever she has on her phone. So put the address into Chrome or Safari.
All right, I told her to do Chrome.
Don't use the app because the app doesn't work on an iPhone.
Okay.
Don had the same problem.
All right.
Don couldn't get on.
Don.
And if anything, I can just take a phone call.
Okay.
When I go inside.
So
if she's using an iPhone, don't use the app, right?
Correct.
Okay. Don't use.
And have her light a blunt up. That always helps. That always helps the situation. Just light one up like I'm doing here.
The mechanical progression of the phone itself if you're smoking. And that's just basic doctor stuff.
It's just part of the process.
Do you want me to tell her to call you?
Well, not yet. I'm not in the. When I get into the building, sure.
Okay.
Maybe you should expedite what you're doing so we don't keep our guests waiting.
Yeah. Okay. Can she try? Ask her to try again though on the video.
You
know what you should do, Lefty? You should get 2 very long straws. One leading out to that's blunt in your car, and then the other one that you blow out of that blows outside of the dispensary. So technically, no smoke is being circulated throughout the inside of the dispensary, and that way you could just stay inside.
I would still be consuming cannabis in a dispensary.
Are you allowed to eat an edible in the dispensary?
No.
No? Okay.
You can if you don't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah, just say you're breathing in the outdoor scum.
Or say nothing. Or say nothing.
Yeah, say nothing about the 2 tubes that are leading in and out of the dispensary that you're breathing from. Just don't acknowledge it at all.
The best answer is nothing. I go with nothing.
Just say none of your business. Don't act like you don't have 2 tubes that you breathe in and out of from your home.
All right. Let's see what she says.
Breathing tube.
Yeah, I go through Chrome every time. They never ask for a credit card or nothing.
I've had that happen to me with the credit card, and they're probably charging me too. So I don't even know. But I don't care. It's part of my duty to support Sativa Cross.
Oh, Lefty's gonna put it up for you. Once it gets inside South Jersey news, it's a little promotion I have. I wanted to share with you and at least share the news with Sue because this is a little big for me.
Yeah.
And well, Sativa Cross actually Mad Hatter actually has somewhat of a area where you can go hang out and enjoy yourself outside of the dispensary, which is cool. A little innovative thing they've done.
I'll be right back. I gotta let my dog out. Go.
But yeah, South Jersey. He's gonna put that up as soon as he gets inside.
For Earth Day, they're going to build planters for flower boxes out of pallets, and they're also going to build a bench out here, so people can sit out here in the flower pot with the flower pots and the bench and smoke cannabis out here.
The only caveat is that 2 of the spaces on the bench has props from inside of the dispensary that are non-cannabis related, so it makes sitting down risque. Nothing. You didn't catch it. No worries.
What's all that noise? Hey,
pots and pans.
Hey, you got a TV on? Who has a TV on or has pots and pans?
Well, I have pots and pans, but they're not making noises right now.
I don't hear them.
I think it was Jim when he had his mic on.
I think it was Jim because he denied it.
He just muted his mic and looked away like, oh, what? Did someone making noise?
What noise?
That was the best answer ever.
Oh, you mean I didn't get away with it? Oh.
That was the best answer, Jim.
Yeah, I just like
I
just like doing mea culpa, if that's how you say it, above others' standards. You know, you gotta be observant to know that it's happened. You know. Oh no, I hope it didn't ruin the show. Oh well, while it's in between waiting on this, it wasn't going to be quite so common knowledge. This isn't considered social media, and even though it does have a record kept, you know, it's not that kind of I don't say secret, a new thing, but yeah, it turns out that Vin Gopal wants to speak at a rally about home grow and getting 1393 to a hearing. So I thought it would be a quicker process once he says that, but it's like we could talk about that. There were some dates for like a conference call, and they're like 3.5 weeks away from now. So in one email thing with Jeff King, because Jeff's, I guess, good with me saying his name because you know him. Yeah, he sends letters to Vin that I write, and it's worked well for like 3 years now. So why break the chain? And the last back and forth contact was I'd like to speak at a rally, speak with Olivia, his scheduler, you know, and we can set up a conference call. And I'm like, good, we're in. He says, I'm trying everything I can think. I'm trying to do everything. I'm doing everything I can think of. I want to quote it. I want to be accurate because to me, if somebody says I'm doing everything I can think of and I want to speak at a rally, and then you come to find out the first date for a chat, I mean, just to get on the same page is 4 weeks away. Tick, 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 tick. The session's going on. I got this whole, and I'm thinking, so while he does say he's doing everything he can and he wants to speak at a rally, he's not doing it anywhere near as quickly as he could. And for my mind, somebody that does something that isn't trying everything, but wants to try right away is more valuable than somebody saying, I'm trying everything, but seems to not be in a hurry to try everything. If you follow me. So I don't know how to interpret that. But anyway, Jeff's
the same point that I'm going to make when I go speak Monday is that.
Well, don't speak about this to anybody. I'm just saying. No. It's not a secret. It's just
no. Just the general point of I am witnessing these people take every step they can to undermine, stifle, muffle anyone's opinion or voice that has a message counter to theirs, or
these people. I don't understand.
Were you talking about the home grow community, or what are you talking about?
I'm talking about Vin Gopal, the one who's a co-primary sponsor of the medical home grow bill, saying that he wants to speak at a rally at the annex, telling Jeff King, meaning me and Jeff, that he wants to do this, and he's talking to a constituent about it, saying that, and the constituent comes back with, well, for the last 3 years, I've gotten all my information from Jim Miller. In other words, I'm writing about me, just writing about me. I'm writing about me for Jeff. It's really freaking wild, man, and you can't smoke too much pot and do that because it's like multi-personality thing, and you got to look at it from multiple points of view. It's like intricate, actually.
Lefty, can you put up that graphic for South Jersey News for me, please?
So anyway, we'll see how it goes. But the reply, this was a couple days old now, and Jeff will reply tomorrow. And I think if I did my job right, he'll think maybe we should have an evening call next week. Because they're all afternoon calls, and that indicates workday. And I'm thinking, no, Vinny, if you're trying everything you can, that should involve having a freaking 5-minute call with the people that are going to help you do this. And, I don't know. I got a yellow flags going up. I'm not comfortable with the good news that I bring.
Well, South Jersey, if you were able to see that, that is a promotion I came up. Yeah, there it goes. I was invited to join Castaway Cannabis on the 19th of April for
nice picture, by the way. That's a really, really good look.
You look like Don Corleone.
I gotta say,
yes! Thank you. But I'm very excited. This is my first event I'm going to be featured at. Castaway Cannabis
so cool.
was very nice to invite me to join them to do content and hang out with them for their Spring Fest. We've got a lot of stuff. We're still working on concepts and plans coming up for the event, but I can tell you right now we're gonna have.
Did you say concepts and plans or concepts?
No, I did not say the Trump quote. I did not say the Trump quote.
Did you say of her and? It means a big difference.
No, and not concepts of.
Okay.
But anyway, we have. I don't know what ring hoop dancers are, but we're gonna have those there. There's gonna be a band, a DJ, lots of food, and you're gonna see plenty of cannabis brands there. And I'm gonna get to know, and you guys will hopefully get to know the lovely people at Castaway Cannabis. I know Just a Woman Cannabis will be there as well. It's gonna be an awesome time, and I doubled back to Lefty to say 3 days later is
Lefty. Oh. That's cute.
Earth Day at Mad Hatter. And we're going to be building flower pots out of pallets and making a bench out of pallets so that people can have a place to sit and enjoy the beautiful flowers that we're going to plant on Earth Day.
What kind of flowers?
Nice. Very nice.
New Jersey native flowers that will promote butterflies and hummingbirds.
Nice, really?
You put a bunch of dandelions in there.
Oh, God. That's been said here before. Sorry.
Don't make fun of dandelions. I used to eat dandelion soup all the time when I was a little kid.
What? Hold on. What? Dandelion soup?
It is a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, and it's delicious.
What
it's
is
an Italian thing, but it's delicious.
What is in dandelion soup?
Dandelions.
Well, I mean, like, what's the ingredients usually other than? I don't think it's just dandelions and water.
No, you make some kind of broth, whatever is your preference, and you throw the dandelions in. And I'm giving you the short version of how I do things.
What's the taste like?
And other veggies, and it tastes like I don't know how to explain it. Did you ever have escarole soup?
Okay. Really?
Look at that face. It's
that's not what I would made that up to shut us up.
Okay.
That's a bluff. There's no.
I don't think it's as rare as you. I don't think it's as rare as you may think.
Never heard the word scuttle. You guys are all from Jersey.
South Jersey's already commenting on the broth for it.
Okay.
Carrots.
There you go. See, carrots, celery, whatever you want.
It's a small world.
Little teeny meatballs and throw them in.
Yeah. Oh, scallions. Gotta have.
It's a thing. South Jersey News says it's a thing.
Yeah,
it is a thing.
I love it.
Thank you, South Jersey News.
I'd like to try
from
that,
North Jersey.
You know, yeah.
I don't know what it says. I don't know what it says about respondents that they responded quicker to the dandelion soup versus my call out to them about my event. But you know, whatever. We won't read into it too much.
Hey, I applauded your event. I didn't applaud dandelion soup, man. Look at the replay.
I'm sharing an accomplishment of mine, and they're like, man, but they're like dandelion soup. Hold up. I have to confirm this.
You must involve dandelion soup in some way.
No, to be honest, Bucketman, I think you were the most shocked by the dandelion soup. That's where it, that's where it shifted.
Dandelion is a weed, is it not?
We know about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard about it. I've never had it.
And what is cannabis?
No, but not literally a weed in the same sense, you know.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Throw some seeds in the grass and then it'll grow like a weed.
Like that thoroughly? Okay, all right. I didn't know that. That's crazy. I didn't know it was that, like literally like how.
That's where the word weed came from.
No, but I thought it was just because of the appearance. I don't know. I have autism. Leave me alone.
Don't play that card.
I will play that card every day of my life. That is my word to use.
Listen, I'm looking at the live 145.48. Go back to the 145 moment when you look at the replay. This has got to be a good replay.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, we lost our guest again because she can't figure out what to do, and I don't have the patience for it anymore.
Well,
so we'll have another guest. I will have someone just as good next week.
Well, listen, I missed that this happened, but would she have brought tears to my eyes?
Well, she was going to talk about that.
I don't know.
She can call my phone.
She's a veteran, so
yeah, I know, but
cannabis soup. See.
Yep.
That's the thing too.
Yeah.
Give her my phone number.
No, definitely. I mean, as long I'd love her to be. She's not trying not to be on.
I gave her Lefty's phone number.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I'm just saying it's not like she didn't show up. She showed up, couldn't get on. I can relate to that.
What? 2 weeks in a row?
No, I got on. I'm just saying
2
that
weeks in
there's
a row?
a whole lot of things I can't do that everybody else can do just like that and understands what you're saying. If you told me all you got to do is everything you told her, I'd be
Lefty,
like,
why did you just send me your phone number? I have your phone number.
Okay. Just making sure.
Good job.
Yeah, really.
Oh, you know, Peter, I have your number.
Yeah. Another whole thing, it got really lost, but I was trying to be a wise if and half funny, and Kathy can hear this, so she'll hopefully enjoy it. Is I sent her a message on Signal, and she didn't know what the fuck it was.
No, you didn't. Did you really?
No, yeah, I got Signal.
That's pretty funny.
Hey, look, I go gray market. I got Signal. You know,
that's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. You know, but the thing is, I couldn't explain what it was. Plus, oh, by the way, I can't tell you something. Oh, I can.
Jim, get with the time.
This is gonna be called Signal Gate one day.
Stop.
No, it will. It's got Signal
Gate.
Signal Gate.
Signal Gate. Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
Because I'm going to alert the major news networks. Yes, you know it will be when you think about it, and it's crescendoing, and it will be called that. Wouldn't you want to be the first one to call it that?
Yes,
now,
I will. Then I
am
a member of the resistance, and I am going to put that name out there.
Okay, just give me credit then. Come on, because yes, this is a time thing here. You heard it here first. Okay, go ahead and get it there. And I go, my whole thing on my bucket list. Seriously, I want to get either a word or a phrase into the American lexicon. You know, I do. And
a word or three. I like how he said a word or three.
Well, really, because it's 2 words. Well,
no, but more the fact that
it's like Watergate. But I always thought it would be the price of eggs, and I was sure of it. But until this happened, and seriously,
Millergate.
Here's what happened. You know what's going to be remembered as a turning point. And again, this is good because it's all on record. It's when our president said it's nothing but a witch hunt. When he used that phrase, That's celebrate it. I want to see a smile because that's the moment that everybody else went, oh, what the fuck? Excuse me, my congressman, you want to be reelected? What do you think about this being called a witch hunt? Because it's only going to get worse. And they're blowing it off, minimizing it, calling it a witch hunt is going to blow up in everybody's face.
Yes, thank you, South Jersey. Don't you see how Millergate? That's awesome. That's an awesome. I like that better. Millergate. That's awesome.
That's good.
I forgot.
That's mine right there. Now, I'm giving it to Jim.
That's
Vinny.
So,
no
but
offense,
Jim, the other
I
thing
forget
about that's crazy is that
no, but it will. You watch, it will. You know it's gonna, and it's like now.
No, it will. It will because
of course it will. It's
at the end of the day,
come on, witch hunt. First, witches aren't real, and it's a metaphor. But my point is that that's the worst possible thing that the president could have said, because he's been saying that all along to get witch hunt. Well, fake news. So what do we got? Witch hunt. That's why I say he really should have called the DOGE anything else. So it could have been DOG, could have been Department of Good Excuses, because he ran out of good excuses. He got caught and went to the witch hunt. He could have said, let me get back to you. Good excuses. What do you got? Something different, for crying out loud.
It does bother him, though. It does bother him because they would point. I noticed this on the news today. When he does that thing where he goes, I wasn't involved. It wasn't me. It's a tell that it's a distance from the situation because he's not happy about what happened.
His tells. He would never make a good poker player. First of all, when he says, and here's something people don't know a lot about. It's because he just found out. When he finds out something, he thinks nobody else really knew about
I think his poker face could go either way. He would either do bad or he'd go, I have the best cards. I have the most amazing cards. You all should just fold now. And you wouldn't know really which side to land on.
Yeah, but then he wouldn't be able to claim I won. Because the cards would be on the table.
What do you mean it didn't win? I got the greatest royal flush. The royal flush is better than anyone else's royal flush.
I have the best words. I know all the words.
It's the best royal flush anyone's ever had.
Well, I think a spade to the top, and it wasn't hearts or diamonds. It was a spade. I'm sure in a tie, the spade always wins, right?
This is something that you don't have to have someone
Mikey got it.
In your family military to know or care about this. You can know this is serious by having watched any thriller movie about America, and they go top secret, confidential, classified information, this, that. If you get the vibe from that movie. So the fact that he's thinking, oh, no one will understand why this is. No, we get why this is a problem. We know it's a problem. And the fact that you're just brushing it off, it's basically just, you're all stupid. You don't know what you're talking about.
No, I go through this all the time because Kathy's, you'd love the way she feels about this too. Okay, that tells everybody else how she feels about it. But I can't convince her while she's going, oh, man. I'm like, yeah, witch hunt. Yes, isn't that horrible? No, it's great. And then we have these, I have to interpret why I think it's great, because it almost seems offensive at first, and I understand that, like I got the problem. No, I got the field vision, dude. That's what I got. And that can be a problem when people don't get it and they think I'm freaking crazy. No, I'm the one that didn't drink from the fountain, and I'm not crazy. That's a whole nother thing.
I was telling Lefty before when you were cleaning up your coffee thing, I've been trying to decide since this news broke of how to portray this artistically. And the one I keep coming back to is like every member of the call in like a Brady Bunch style tile around Trump in the middle in the Alice costume, just looking like I didn't do anything. I'm not involved in this.
Hold on, guys. Hey, Lance, can you hear us? Hey, it's Lance. Lance from Texas. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
He said, hold on. I held my breath.
Can't hear him.
Lance?
Can you hear him?
We cannot.
Why'd you say Lance from Texas?
Hold on. Keep going. Keep talking, Lance. I'm going to raise you up a little bit here.
I took a toke. He said, hold on, and I held my breath.
Go ahead.
Stop.
And I never do that. Now I can't stop coughing.
That's ridiculous.
Nature of the beast. What can I say?
I can't hear him.
Can anyone hear him?
No.
Jim, can
No.
you hear him?
No.
No. Okay, I'm not
I
sure.
I hear a voice in the background like I would.
Yeah, I
mute
do
you.
hear a voice. It's just not loud enough.
I would mute you for it if it wasn't.
Hold
probably
on. Let me do something different. Hold on.
Pour water down the back of it.
Woo, woo, that's different. I'm just having an inordinate amount of fun tonight. This has been.
Did you get the condom off the microphone, Lefty? A little better. Maybe if you take the condom off the microphone, we'll hear it better.
That's not funny.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
reality?
on there still, so you know that's
Gotta
a problem.
go raw dog with the microphone.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
rea-
Like the fact that I had to point that out days later is an issue.
Is that a private joke or a reality?
Reality.
I can't really see it. It sounds like a metaphor.
It was on there. There was a condom on the microphone.
Yeah. Well, you know,
And you did, Jim. Do you know why they put the condom on the microphone? Do you know what the reason was?
A plastic bag would be a condom on the microphone.
They called it censorship, and I thought that was stupidly comical.
I guess it's going over my head. I don't know.
You just
Could be me.
No, it's not you. It's me too. That went right over my head. I don't get it.
It's stupid. It's just stupid of just like capping something.
Okay.
I still can't hear him, Lefty. I don't know.
Lance, are you talking? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, a little bit
he
better.
said,
Try turning the input up a little bit for that microphone.
Maybe if we turn our volumes up, Lefty, you talk real quiet, and we shut up.
Getting better.
I
It got a little bit better there. Lefty.
I can't walk and talk at the same time. I'll interpret.
I can't watch the YouTube stream.
You can't watch the YouTube stream.
And talk to yours. I have to pause the YouTube.
Is that the highest it'll go?
I'll be voice recognition.
No, Jim, I think you should break out into interpretive dance and just fill in the blanks.
See, I got G's on. I got a shot at hearing them.
Okay, Bucket, you're doing
like
good.
that. Yeah,
yeah. Like
I think I'd break out into tears and start crying, laughing.
He's gone. We've lost him. He's gone.
No, he's there. Go ahead, Lance.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Go ahead.
No.
Okay. I need to give you guys an update because ever since we're on this, I guess everybody being pissed off at Trump and the conservatives. Did we all see what do they call him, Governor Hot Wheels Abbott and the delegation in Texas did?
Lefty, it's not.
No.
They're going for a complete ban on THC again, reversing course, going anti-420. So Texas is no longer even a medicinal state, not even a tint of green. So congratulations, Texas. You are no longer in the cannabis industry.
Did I just hear that they're trying to reverse course on legalization? What was that?
Yeah, in
Texas.
Yeah, they are.
In Texas.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate.
THC again, all cannabinoids and everything in reversing course on Delta 8, Delta 9, THCA, and anything that contains the cannabinoid. So you guys can go ahead and bitch about Trump all you want. The fight is not with Trump. The fight is not with Trump. You guys are being distracted. Look at the green map and look where the fights are actually at. And you're lucky to have what you have out in New Jersey. I understand you guys are pissed about the election and everything that's going on, but stop worrying about a fucking president that is going to do worse. If we didn't have him in there, what's the worst could happen? Because Kamala and Biden and all this other shit that y'all have to deal with the flooding of the immigration and all that shit, be grateful that you have a legalized medicinal state and understand where the actual battle is. And it's not, y'all have no reason to be resisting out there unless you're going to be resisting against the deportation of all the scumbags in New Jersey now. So you got to realize your states are filled with fucking everything and all the trash that's coming from the fucking border. But where all that trash came from was Joe Biden and his fucking bullshit fucking
So are we really gonna let this guy keep talking? Like,
so it is a very understandable situation. Where I know that.
let's take him off.
I know Jim. I know you're upset. I know you guys are all bitching about all this hoopla.
I give it no credence.
I'm having a hard time with the audio here, but I got your point here, and we'll try to get you online here. So hold on, I must keep getting you online. But yeah, what do you guys have to say about that?
I couldn't understand a thing he was saying.
From what I heard, boo, a lot of anger and a lot of ignorance and a lot of him calling people from New Jersey bitches and people being scum here and us having no reason to revolt and complain. So boo, hiss, boo, hiss. Boo, hiss. I heard all I couldn't really hear. Like if that's all I could hear, boo.
That's all I could hear too. That's it.
It's like, and what? You're from Texas? I'm sorry.
Who's this guy?
Get out of Texas. That's my first advice for you. Get out of Texas. Like it's always been a hypocrisy state for weed to begin with. It's not legal, but we're gonna have festivals and all this other shit. So no, don't flapping your gums like that. No, I'm not hearing that. No.
Who is this guy? I missed that part. Who is he?
Can you hear him or no?
No, I heard the scumbag. I heard that. I heard what Bucket just said.
Who was he talking about? Who was he talking about? With
I'm trying to get this to work. I'm not for either side, but let's just like turn the page for Christ's sake.
Lance. Can you guys hear that?
No.
All right. So Lance, try to call in on StreamYard if you can. Thanks, man.
Not worth it.
I can't hear him.
It's not worth it. Like that kind of energy is not worth it, in my opinion. Like,
what was the point that he was trying to make? Was there a point?
Like we have no reason to bitch in New Jersey because we have legal cannabis because Texas is reversing course, so we should just stop fighting. Like, I'm sorry.
Well, I could understand him being upset about that, about Texas.
No, but that's basically what I heard. That like we have no reason to bitch in New Jersey because Texas is doing this, and we should do all this revolting we do is not worth anything. Which I say to you, sir. I am very sorry you made the learning disabled decision to move or reside in Texas, a decision that puts my autism in great perspective.
Texas is tough because he's also in a wheelchair, Lance. So he has a hard time.
You know what?
That is Lance, right? That's what I was wondering. Is that's our friend Lance, right?
That's our friend Lance, yeah. But he's a Trumper, and that's a lot of Trumpers feel that way, and that's why I don't agree with a lot of things that Trump does.
I would have loved to have him on when we were talking about the.
I love Lance. Lance is a great guy. I wasn't sure if that was the same Lance that because he is from Texas. Right.
That was a lot of hate. I heard a lot of hate and a lot of anger.
Yeah, I like Lance.
I mean, I'll take your word on it. From that take right there. That was a lot of I didn't like it. Very unpleasant.
Well, I'm having a hard time with the audio, and that's unpleasant to me. I can't fix it. I don't know why you can't hear him. I hear him before.
Sorry about my temporary absence.
You're fine. Yeah.
I hope I didn't miss anything. Oh, actually,
no, you didn't. You didn't miss anything worth hearing.
No, well, I already knew that. I mean,
I'm gonna have a field day subtitling this later of just like garble something about Biden, something.
Yeah,
Texas.
well, I have the headphones on. I took my headphones off, went like that, and walked away, and now I'm back.
I kind of like got the gist of it and everything that was being said there, but what
it's South Jersey.
I just didn't understand where the original political views were.
No, well,
how does it tie to the political view? That's what I don't understand.
Get it.
I don't even know what everybody supports.
I got the headphones. I think I have a leg up here.
And it's South Jersey News. I'm all with you. Let's we can all get along and be friends. But at the end of the day, we have to observe the facts.
It doesn't
and-
have anything to do with that, though. In this case, it really.
Yes, I agree with you there.
No,
Absolutely.
it really doesn't, and that's just.
Well, that's where I'm confused. That's what I'm confused on. That's all.
No,
But that's
it
consistent thing
really
with
doesn't.
with
Okay,
that
listen.
crowd,
When,
is
when
that
I
they'll-
when I hear you guys are all really so concerned with Trump, and that's distracting you. I don't like being told I'm being distracted by something when I'm not. I'm taking in multiple things. I can do more than one
But
thing
what
in my
you
head
said,
at a
but what
time.
you said, Jim, gave
That's
me
a signal. That's a
zero
signal.
interpretation over what your political beliefs were.
Yeah.
That's where I was confused
No,
as a title because I'm not sure there was no political
Mike,
belief on
Mike,
display.
no,
How did
listen
I
to
don't
me.
even want to say who I support or who I don't, but that wasn't.
Mike. Oh, that was a commercial like the camel. Mike. Hey, Mike.
And it's
remember
the
that?
same comment I said. That's just this is.
No, but it wasn't just me. It's the podcast. It comes up, but it doesn't come up in terms of this is what's leading us to our point. It's away from our point, but part of it. You can't avoid saying that. I call him our president, and I do it for a reason. He's our president, like it or not. He's our president, and I call him President Trump because, like it or not, he's our fucking president. And if he's going to be president, I call him President Trump because
The reason why I'm confused, I'm not trying to bring personal politics in it, but the reason why I'm confused is because I support Trump. But I didn't want to even. But I don't even get into these things. That's why I'm confused.
We don't know that till you say so.
But that's the only reason why I said it because what interpretation just took place there? I'm confused.
But then don't be confused. We agree, and I see Vinny agrees, and that's why we're all on the same page and have the type of discussion and get where we're going together.
I don't like Trump, but I don't think you can hate him on every issue.
Follow me? So my interpretation is I did not want to take part in the discussion. I mean, I can't be more plain. Look, I went like this.
Well, my basic plain belief in life is I would rather bond with people over our differences than our similarities any day. That's not the interest in life I'm trying to live. So that's why you know how I communicate.
Right. I agree. I agree.
There's a fine line between vibing with our differences and vibing with anger right off the bat. Like you can vibe with your differences at a tone without. No, not you, Jim.
None of us are really being angry.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about what we were.
Yeah, what South Jersey just said right there. It's all okay. I don't understand where the animosity was coming from. That's all.
Exactly. But
that's
it's
why
how we go about talking about it is my point.
Listen to me. This is why we get shit done. And when I say we, mostly you all, we get shit done that way. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what works. So I'm not taking part in outside. To me, that was static. I didn't want to take part in any way, shape, or form. And I walked away there because I agree. I want to protect what I agree with you all on. I want to keep myself away from anything that'll make me angry. Boom. Do I look angry?
Only sounded a little bit. Now it's Miller time.
You've got the time. We've got the beer.
And I'm smiling and I'm having a toke because we got traction in New Jersey. We do. We have traction, and I have hopes for us in New Jersey. And that's what this podcast is about. You know?
There you go.
So anyway, I'm okay with all that.
Yes, THC is legal in New Jersey.
Focus on the green map. Well put. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's called the purple map too. You know what I mean? Like it's all inclusive. And
I don't see in color. I'm a dog.
Yeah. Okay, Mitch Hedberg, I got to tell you. He did a great one like that. People say, I don't care if you're black or white or green or purple or anything. But I say, hey, wait a minute. We got to draw a line somewhere. I say no purple people. And unless, of course, they're having a heart attack or something. I mean, purple. But I don't know.
I saw an ad on TV that was selling something that made your hard to eat reach plants easier to reach. Who the fuck would make their plants hard to reach? That seems so very mean.
No.
I know you need water, but I'm going to make it hard.
Anyway, New Jersey's. I feel like Charlie Brown trying to kick the football that Lucy keeps pulling back and he falls on his back. And I've got a few more kicks in me where I'm going to fall on my back. But I'm like, there is traction. There really is. Joe Vitelli, co-sponsoring the bill. Mr. Cruz Perez, Senator, also right about leadership. She's not officially leadership. Doing that. And that right after that, Vin Gopal gets in touch with Jeff King, says, "Hey, I want," he was he was answering an email that through him had sent 10 days before, maybe. So coincidentally, maybe 2 days after the co-sponsorship or 3 days, he got in touch with Vin. Yeah, I'd like to. So that signals that Joe Vitelli's co-sponsorship. Well, everybody's frozen. I don't even know if you can hear me.
No, I'm here, Jim. I'm here. I'm just staring.
Everybody's Joe Vitelli's co-sponsorship was a dog whistle to other senators that says, yeah, it's okay for you to co-sponsor this and support it if you want to, because although our Senate president obviously has blocked it and does not want it heard, and I know a lot of you have not co-sponsored it and stepped back because you might want a better committee position and you don't want him to go, yeah, I don't like the way you co-sponsored it. No. I'm going to co-sponsor the bill my own freaking self. Nielsen Cruz Perez is going to do this at the same time, pretty much. And I don't mean dog whistle. But it says okay, and I expect future co-sponsorship will be happening, but it needs to be happening with the bill being heard in committee. None of it makes any sense if it's not going to be heard in committee. Yeah.
South Jersey, I absolutely agree with you, and that's why we have to keep calling this stuff out. Call out the hypocrisy. Stand up, keep speaking, and yeah, that's. But that being said, I don't think the two have to be correlated. I think our traction in New Jersey, I don't think is really linked to the corruption at all. I think that they're two separate issues. But that being said, both are one good and one need to be tackled.
No, consider New Jersey corruption. It's also the New Jersey, where's my slice of the pie sort of attitude that sometimes doesn't work.
I need to really travel to other states more, because I'm glad you phrased it like that. I had this conversation with someone yesterday, and we were talking about, just people in the industry or media and whatnot, about always needing to make sure that you're getting money up front and your slice of the pie or whatever. And I really want to travel to other states and see, because that's a mentality that's taken beyond that. That is if the people will assess who they want to keep in their life based on if they're contributing something to their life. I've seen this happen. And I wonder how much of a Jersey thing that is. If you know what I mean. Yes, it does seem human, but I also think that there are certain areas of the country that are a lot more friendlier than New Jersey.
It's freezing up. Is anybody else's screen freezing up?
Am I freezing up on you, Jim? Jim? Jim's having connection issues.
I think Jim has connection issues. Everything's
Jim
cool
was
here.
freezing up. That's what it is.
No, I'll look at it. If you can hear me, I'm looking at you. Everybody's frozen. And I'm trying not to move because
can you hear us?
And only you are frozen for me in moments.
He can't hear us on time.
Connection on your end.
Refresh your screen.
Yeah, refresh your thing.
Really?
Yeah, just you are frozen.
Okay, let me minimize.
How does that happen? Jim's in the past. Hammer.
What's up?
Hammer, what's up, brother?
Okay, guys.
Brother.
What is happening?
Not much, chilling.
Mikey, how's it going, Mikey? I see that I guess Jeff Miller, what's his name? Where is he? There he is. You guys misunderstood me when I tried to call in. We misunderstood because I forgot when originally with Sativa Cross Bongholio and El Rampador, when we used to stay nights and you guys used to jam and we used to do all that stuff online, Sativa Cross .org, all we cared about, we didn't care about the
Damn, you're breaking up.
You know, you know what I mean?
You're breaking
You're
up.
breaking up. You have to say that again.
How is my? I've got so many. Hold on, I'm gonna just. I got so many bars on my internet. It's unbelievable.
Can you just say what you said?
Yeah, you're cutting it out. Maybe you should refresh. Try refreshing and come back in.
It worked for
Now
me.
it's good.
Yeah, no, I just did that. I just did that. I refreshed and came back in.
All right, yeah. Just say what you just said before. We didn't hear it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, originally, whenever Lefty and Mike and Bungholio and SativaCrossOrg, and when Lefty was over in his garage, and you guys used to just sit around and you would jam and play music. Originally, SativaCrossOrg, we only cared about one map. That's why I'm so confused right now when I'm tuning in, and you guys are focusing, or I'm hearing roughly that we're still hung up on something we can't deal with, which is the red map, the red or blue map, or whatever the Democrat, Republican, right, left map that I've basically tossed into the trash. I thought that's where originally that was my point. Now I understand.
No, hold on. Let him finish. Let him finish. Keep going, Hammer.
I also understand your point, your view, in telling me to move out of Texas. Well, Lefty knows the original reason when I left California. I used to be out in California. I've been to Arizona. I've been to a lot of these Colorado, other states. I specifically moved back to Texas to work on the battle of making Texas green, because we have to worry about what the conservatives are doing on the back end, not on the front end. They already won the fucking election on the front end, and I don't give a shit what he's doing right now. But now we have to focus on the green map and start filling in the states.
Yes, and I know your point of view. That's why I was confused. Why it felt like you put it in that context. I think we've had conversations personally about sharing a lot of views with stuff, but that's what I was expecting to hear from you. That's why I said let him finish so you could get that point across.
And I'm glad you explained. All we were talking about earlier was just the national security thing, that signal debacle. We weren't talking specifically about maps.
None of that matters, because what he's saying is looking at the magazine.
Let them hang themselves. Let them hang themselves.
Is there
That's the point.
Where's the hand raise thing? I got a question. It's like a false assumption about being hung up on the election. I am not hung up on the election, and I resent you assuming that I'm hung up on. Hear me out now.
In the chat, all we're hearing is your anger. You have anger issues, obviously, because
I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
I disagree completely. Jim, go ahead. Jim, go ahead.
And Mikey, I appreciate it. Why don't you moderate, because you are the moderator of the group. I need to be listened to as well. You assume, and the chat and the group, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hammer, I can tell.
Whoa, you got me pegged wrong. It's not about Trump. He is involved, but yeah, I just finished explaining. I call him President Trump when other people don't. I'm the one that respects the office of the presidency, and it has nothing to do.
Okay, I'm out of here. I'm hungry.
But listen,
good night,
Sue. Bye,
everybody. See you next week.
Good
night, Sue.
I'll talk to you soon. The fact that you do that really put me off, because you got me wrong, and I'm in this group, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
but I am by Trump.
Which one I'm trying to talk about is let's focus on the green map.
That's what you're trying to, yes, Hammer, that's what you're trying to say, but you did pin the wrong one. You got Jim wrong on that. When any conversation comes up like that, Jim removes himself from it because he's here for the green map. That's who Jim is.
That's the point.
And Mikey knows me. And listen, Howard, you got good points. But when you assume like that, you know how that goes. You can't make that assumption. So you can't make such a general statement. When you focus where you want your statement to be focused, you're going to make sense. I get that. But to assume, no, I am well beyond that. I am so, if you knew me on Facebook at all, you know that I do not take part in any of that shit. I don't, because it's against the green map, and we have a common overlap, and we need to respect that. And it seems to me an assumption.
Well, and that's my point. Everybody, and that's my point, Jim. And when originally Mikey Bungholio and we were doing, and I was coming in and watching and being engaging with the program originally, it used to just be Lefty, me, Mikey sitting around a table playing with a bunch of cars back and forth, and we didn't care about the election.
Where was I?
I don't think I was originally. No, this was a while ago, and I don't think you were coming in. You weren't coming in.
I am so long a while ago compared to you all that I've been there not only before you all, but along with you all. So it's just a little hard for me to wrap my head around what you're saying from a point of view where it didn't involve me. Mikey,
No. That's not what I'm saying.
I wasn't there in any of that. What you're talking about?
Can I interject?
Oh, please do.
Please.
Can I interject? Well, what it sounds like is Jim and Hammer. I'm not sure what your name is, but it sounds like you guys are on the same team, but you guys have different views. Right?
My name is Hammer Scott. My original name is. My born name is Lance, middle name Hammer, last name Scott. So I don't go by my first name, I go by my middle name.
Your middle name is Hammer. That's really a freaking coolest.
Yeah, I still think you use Lance though sometimes.
Coolest middle name of all time.
I use Lance as my first name, Hammer my middle name, and Scott my last name.
Yeah, I got
this is
pretty cool.
I wanted to bring up something. This is why I asked Lefty to put me on, because politics can really destroy friendships and relationships, and I know that Jim and Lance, maybe you're not on the same page there, but really,
I think we will be. I really do.
I think you will be as well.
You know why I didn't want to say what my political stance was, because then everybody's going to make all sorts of judgments. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, I'm this, I'm that. There has never been something so controversial. I don't remember when someone was like, if you voted for Ross Perot, we cannot date.
Oh,
if you voted for Bob Dole, I will never speak to you guys. I stay so far away from all that stuff. That's what I see in Jim and how he respects the green map and literally navigates through those social issues that constantly come up. The divisiveness is real. Everybody who takes part in that divisiveness is part of the problem. If you don't know how to coexist socially, we're social creatures, and your political beliefs are that strong that you're going to assign all the things that you have in your head that make you comfortable. It's about saying that this person is this, that, and that. That's a reflection of your own self that needs healing, and you are showing the boxed up walls you built to make yourself feel comfortable.
I will say this. It goes on both sides. So it's the right and the left, right? Sometimes we can't work together, but
we overlap. It's about the overlap.
That's why I say it all the time, and I want to say I heard this from Lefty, but I say it to that I don't do left and right. I do right and wrong, and that's it.
But listen, where we can't work together, we don't work together. We overlap. Where we can work together, we do, and where we can't, we don't, and we don't bring that to the dinner table, for crying out loud. And I appreciate the way this ended here, and I'm glad you got on where we could have this discussion, because we are all going the same goddamn way.
Unless you go there sometimes, you're not going to have the discussions that are necessary for everybody to affect change.
This rock only spins one way.
Well, this could be a lesson on how this discussion should be done. Seriously, this is from the 1 minute 45 second 1.45 whatever on. This has been a stellar podcast, a lot because of the way it ended here.
Well, you know what I look at? I have a thing called a blank canvas theory, right? If I lived Vinny's life, I'd probably be exactly like Vinny, raised with his parents, raised with his geographical, where he was born, with his finances. If I grew up as Lance, I would have Lance's life possibly, think the exact same way, have all the same feelings, because that's where my journey has gotten me. Unless people are willing to understand a possibility like the blank canvas theory, you're never going to accept it yourself. Because you don't know how to accept others.
You're a product of your own environment. I mean, that's pretty much the summation of what you just said.
Yeah.
You're not 100%, but it is the basis. It's your foundation, and then people have their same foundations and build different things on it. You know what
People
I mean?
they need to learn to realize that we're all on the same page. We're on the same goddamn boat, and there really shouldn't be.
The Earth only spins one direction. The Earth spins in one direction, and we're all going the same direction. And I can tell you that right now, we're all stuck on this rock together.
Yep.
We're all stuck on this rock together, and I don't know.
Even
Last
the
time I
flat
checked,
earthers, man. If you live their life, you would think the Earth would. Maybe they can't trust anyone in life because they don't even think the world's round. So you got to respect that. That's a hell of a place to be. Where you have
you got to
everybody's lying, everything's a lie. That's awesome. I kind of like that.
I get you.
Listen,
Don't hate it. Don't hate it.
We overlap with
Hey, Lefty. When are we going to start? When are we going to start playing with cars?
Yeah, really. You missed that, right?
Hey, Lefty. When are we going to start playing with cars?
Yeah, I remember enough of that.
Oh, there's the. He's got a bunch of the cars. Where are the cars at, Lefty?
I'm front and center right now.
No, remember you had them on the table. You used to have your table set up.
I think Lefty's dealing with some issues right now, or on the phone or something. I don't know.
Well, we're gonna lose me in a little bit because I am so late on coming to the dinner table.
Yeah, I have to go eat.
You know, I'm just saying, but
you're
Hammer, we call you Hammer now. That's your middle name, man. I'm glad to. If this is meeting somebody, I'm glad to meet you, man. You know?
No, we've met before, but it was when you guys were doing a broadcast.
No, but I wasn't. I don't remember you, and I don't it's. I remember you now. You know. Hey, listen,
man! I spent 6 hours. I spent 6 hours on one of y'all's broadcasts when y'all were doing it from the State House. 6 hours.
I've been there for the 11th year. So
I remember we did the end of the year State House thing where we were all coordinating people from each state. And I'm the Texas representative for Sativa Drive.
Yeah, that would be the July 11th 710 upside down oil.
Yeah,
because Lefty
Patient Awareness Day.
Yeah.
The last time Lefty and I talked was on that.
Well, that was quite a hectic day. So
I think the podcast when it was done, it was 6.5 hours.
Woo!
Oh, my phone's dying.
Well, I hope you're back again because if I know Lefty, although we haven't discussed it, it's not that long away when you try to gather up something that involves as much as you can of the entire freaking country. So that's a good reminder right here, And while I do have to go eat dinner now, I want to say a great podcast, but you ended up being maybe the best part of it in a really weird way. I got to tell you, and Vinny, thanks for doing that because I got you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, Jim. I mean,
it's a bigger than us all, and we were just some sort of people say primer. I call it primer, a basis for like. Look what just fucking happened on this podcast, would you?
Someone detonated it.
It was a whole full circle.
But that's okay because your view is strong and so is his, and that's okay.
Because we're doing the same way. Seriously, aren't battles fought with people coming from different directions converging, right?
Yeah.
That's how we won. That's how we won the Civil War.
That's how we got a good podcast tonight. Now I got to go.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Mad Hatter. We got a party April 5th. Come out on April 5th. We'll have a food truck. Oh, not food. We're gonna have food catered that day. I think it's tacos or pizza or both. I'm not sure, but there'll be a dab bar on April 5th. Also, CMMNJ, UFCW, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and SativaCross.org. Our list begins with Cheryl Miller.
What list?
The list of our friends and family that are still waiting for legal cannabis or that died using legal cannabis.
Legal meaning home grow.
Waiting for home grow. We're still waiting for home grow.
All right, get the list over, man. It's like tough every time.
Sabina Rose. Yeah. Sabina Rose was a 15-month-old baby. She had a 25-hour seizure. Those are some really shitty numbers, man. 15 control, 25-hour seizure. Whoa. She had a longer. I don't know.
That's shocking right there. Just to think about that. How long you just said that seizure was?
25 hours.
That's a day and an hour, man. Fuck that. Fuck that. So we're gonna play with cards now, Lefty?
Diane, Gracie, Cindy Mae, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Holly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jay Bird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lou, Becky, Lawanda, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, Gary, Julia, and Jeff. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Lance, for jumping on. South Jersey News, Vinny from South Jersey News. Like and subscribe. Jim Miller, Bongolio. Thank you, everybody. We end it like this every week. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them,
nor the years condemn.
At
the going down of the sun,
and in the morning we will remember them. Thank you.